All things work to the good of them that are called according to his purpose. All things work to the good of them that are called, that are called, that are called. Hi there, Brainwash. This is Joshua Laird coming at you today. How you doing? So, today, I am going to talk to you about head coverings. And I know I've done this in the past, but I have come up with 5 great reasons why head coverings are the artificial coverings for your head, not your hair. Now, I'm going to go over these one by one. I got them written down here. I wrote them down on this. It's for notes and stuff like that. So we're going to go through them one by one. So we might go over time, but we're going to get it done. Okay, reason number one. Reason number one. There is, in the verses, there is 5 references. When it talks about covering and uncovering, uncovered or covered or uncovered or covered, it's talking about the word akatakalutos. Akatakalutos. Aha! There you go. I said it. Akatakalutos, and then there's kataluptos, which is basically akatakalutos is covered, or no, sorry, kataluptos is covered. Akatakalutos is uncovered. Okay, and this goes back and forth all the time. Okay, but there's only one reference to the word parabolion, which is in verse 15. And in verse 15, but if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her as a covering. So in reference to a woman's hair being her covering, it's using a completely different word for the word cover. So the hair is a different covering than the covering it's talking about. And that's just reason number 1. Okay, reason number 2 is uncovered. A lot of people say, well, my hair is my covering. Okay, well, let's try this, okay? So let's go into verse 16. So if we have, or verse 6. So if we have your long hair is your covering, and that would mean that short hair is when you're uncovered, right? So if we go into verse 6, it says, for the woman be not, if the woman have short hair, for her, let her be shorn, so if a woman be not covered, that means if a woman have not long hair, let her also be shorn. Okay, but if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn, let her, or shaven, let her have long hair. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so if you're not going to have long hair, you should have short hair. But if you're going to have short hair, you should have long hair. What? That doesn't make sense. There's no way that the concept doesn't make any sense. But if it's talking about a artificial hair covering, then this makes a lot more sense. That means that if your hair is not covered, then you should shave your hair. But if your hair is going to be covered, then you can have long hair. See what I'm saying? That makes more sense. A lot more sense. Reason number 3. Reason number 3, it says, coverings are meant for a specific time. Okay, so when you're supposed to cover your hair when you pray. Okay, so if it's meant for a specific time, if you're not going to pray, then you don't need to cover your hair. So that means if you're going to pray, you should have long hair. But if you're not going to pray, you should have short hair. That doesn't make sense. If it's for a specific time, then your hair doesn't grow that fast. I'm sorry. You can't I'm going to grow my hair out because I'm not going to pray, or because I'm praying, but when I'm not going to pray, I'm going to shave off my head. So that means you have to have your hair long at all times. Anyway, it's supposed to be for a limited time. Like, it's supposed to be for specific times. And so if you have a specific times, it must be removable. Reason number 4, a woman's hair is given to her for a glory. All right, so a woman's long hair is her glory, right? That's what it says. A woman's hair is her glory. But it says that the head covering is a symbol of submission. Okay, so glory means that, oh, look at me, I'm cool, I'm groovy. But then when I say it's a sign of submission, that means that I am humble, I'm submissive, blah, blah, blah. So one is to exalt the woman, the long hair, and the head covering is to show her as being submissive and humble. See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense if it's just her hair, because it can't be both her glory and her sign of submission. One has to be a sign of glory, which is her hair, and the other one has to be a sign of submission, which is her hair covering, the thing that covers her hair. And reason number 5, there are actually the practicing of head covering has been going on for 1900 years. It's only been in the last 100 years that women stopped covering their hair. And we know this because in what was it? In 160 to 220 AD, like early church, Tertullian said in Veiling of Virgins, chapter 7, he said, in fact, this day the Corinthians do veil their virgins. And Clement of Alexandria in 150 to 215 in a compendious view of Christian life said, this is the wish of the word, since it is becoming for her to pray veiled. And Hippolyus, I'm really butchering these words, and 170 to 236 said, in the apostolic traditions of Hippolytus, let all the women have their heads covered with an opaque cloth. So this really specifies, it's very specific about the head coverings. It's only in modern translations and current interpretations that we have perverted it to say, well, it's just a woman's hair is her covering. And I think we're only doing it so that we don't offend our parishioners. But in reality, women in general, across the board in Christianity, are supposed to have their head covered. So anyway, I wanted to bring this to your attention. I'm a little bit over time, but these are the 5 reasons I have found that the women's hair is not her covering. It's a hair covering that a woman's supposed to be covered, because there's 2 different words for covering. Parabolion, and then it's katakaluptos. Now I'm butchering these Greek. Anyway, you have a great day. You know I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. Peace, love, and agreement is forever. What's up? Okay, sorry, yeah. I don't do the thing. What's up?